Hi everyone, I'm Matt Gash with SoundersFC.com alongside Arlo White for our final review of the season, at least for a game. Sounders lose 2-1 here at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California, losing the aggregate goal series 3-1, and really just a tough night on all parts for the Sounders.
Yes, absolutely. And it's quite an empty feeling, actually, that this season is over. It was always going to be a tough game tonight and a real sort of a difficult task to try and turn this around. And conceding 2 goals to set pieces in the first half certainly didn't aid things. But you have to remember, this is a second-year team playing against the team that won the Supporters' Shield with the 3rd most points in MLS history. They've got Donovan and Buddle and Beckham. They've got more good players as well. So this is no disgrace to lose to the Galaxy. I'm glad that Steve and the Sounders scored a playoff goal. I'd love to have seen what would have happened had we got another one. One of the late chances have been taken, and maybe 3 or 4 minutes needing another goal to take it to extra time. With Bruce Arena having made so many defensive substitutions, that would have been fascinating. But it's all over. Now we look ahead, I suppose, to 2011.
And like you mentioned, kind of a tough night, tough way to lose it. But I guess if you're going to lose it, you're going to lose it to the Galaxy, and you're going to lose it to Beckham playing that way. I guess that's the way to lose it, right?
Yeah, and he proved he was injured. It was a horrific injury he suffered in May. And obviously, as an Englishman, I was following that very closely. It was against Chievo, playing for AC Milan in May, and he ruptured his Achilles tendon. And he's 35, but here he is again. Look, he's not going to be, and we talked about this after the first leg, he's not going to be a winger that skins fullbacks. But his delivery into the box is sensational. A couple of good free kicks that just went wide, but the delivery on the corner for the first goal for Buddle and the free kick for Gonzalez was terrific, and it was obviously something that they decided to do. You know, it was a tactic in the game. So yeah, great performance by Beckham. Donovan was very good as well, and they are a very, very good team. And when you lose 4 times to the same team over the course of a season, that doesn't lie, does it? And they're the standard, which a second team, now a third-year team, needs to aspire to, and that's what the Sounders will do. The front office will ensure that it isn't long before we are competing on a level, on a par with teams like the LA Galaxy. So the future is bright.
We saw maybe today one of the bright spots for next year is that Alvaro Fernandez can play a lot of different positions. He was all over the field today when he came on.
He was desperate to make an impression, wasn't he? I mean, it must have been difficult for Alvaro. He's had an exciting summer, moving to the US, having a child, getting married,
playing in a World Cup.
Almost forgot the quarterfinal of the World Cup, yeah. And he probably hasn't played as much as he thought he might do. Because Sano Nasi's played very well. So, yeah, he'll work hard in the off-season. He was very good. Nate Jacob was very dangerous when he came on. Montero, I thought, played very well. Most of the good things around the box happened around him. And Zakawani, took his goal very well. Had we scored a little earlier, it could have been interesting. But, the season has been full of, particularly the second half, really, really good, spirited, skillful, committed performances. And that's what the guys have to take from this season. Because, look, we've ended it with 4 straight defeats, if you take into account the Saprissa game, Houston away, and 2 against LA. So, maybe they went off the boil a little bit towards the end of the season, and maybe the effort put in getting and saving the season, going on that 5-match winning run, turning everything around, maybe in the end it took its toll. But, they need to take the positives out of the season, and they came back really well. They're a good set of lads, very good players, very well coached, and as I say, I'm looking forward to March already.
One of the things Ziggy mentioned is that maybe in a lot of ways the difference between this Sounders team and this Galaxy team is that the Sounders have a lot of 23-year-old players asked to play big roles for this team, whereas those same players for the Galaxy are 30, 32. They've been through the ringers a few times and know what it takes to play in these big games.
So, if you take tonight in perspective, great, that's won the day tonight. But by definition, those players aren't going to be around for much longer. So the Sounders do have young thrusters, young talent, Zakawani, Nayasi, Alonso, all these guys that are young, Montero, who are still maturing, and we're yet to see their best days. So, a little bit of tinkering here and there in the off-season, as every club does. The basis, the roots are there of an extraordinarily good team. It's just how we put all the pieces together. And in 2 or 3 years, when those guys are still scoring goals, well, maybe Beckham will still be playing. He never ceases to amaze me.
Casey Keller will still be playing, right?
Yeah, well, I'm sure he will be. Absolutely no doubt. But, or maybe Beckham will be retired. Maybe Kovalenko will be retired, Maybe Landon Donovan will be playing in the EPL. You just never know, do you, in this game? But I'd rather be Yeah, congratulations to LA, and they thoroughly deserved it, and they're a good side, and I enjoyed watching them, particularly in the second leg. But I'd rather be Seattle at the moment. And they've got some money to spend, Galaxy and all that, but with the young talent that Seattle possess, I'd rather be a Sounder than the LA Galaxy at the moment.
Absolutely. Well, maybe not at the moment, but maybe looking at next year.
Maybe from November the 22nd onwards.
There you go. He's Arlo White. I'm Matt Gash. This has been the final review from a game for the season for SoundersFC.com. Thanks for joining us.
Casey, what are you doing out here, buddy? Practice is over.
I'm just grabbing some rays so I don't burn when we take that sweet Mexican Riviera cruise in January.
Oh, you're right, man. I can't wait to hang out with the fans. Check out Cabo, Mazatlan, and do some cool Holland America excursion.
Exactly. So grab a chair, grab some rays with me. Towels up, Sounders fans, towels up.